Alright, hey. I felt that I needed to kind of more explain at least one of the things that I was offering for people to choose among for me to eventually write about, and I decided to deal with the fracture, or more specifically, the fracture within the Grundan Mountains, which I don't know why every time I say that I randomly think Zelda, but no, not that way at all. Only thing the same, mountains. That's about it. So, essentially, in the Grandin Mountains, it's a region where not many people go anymore. Like, it's too rugged terrain. It's not really easy to get a military force in there. Most people just are like, alright, do whatever you want in Grandin Mountains. Which created a two pockets of very different people there. There's the nomadic tribes that, as you can see in this picture, put a lot of like torches up on mountains because to them it's a penance to go into the mountains, follow all these torches that never go out magically because they lead to a secret place of their people. Now, other people who try to follow them get lost. Torches appear where they shouldn't be. It essentially is a way, if you aren't of the faith or of the nomadic tribe, you are essentially going to get lost and probably die in the mountains. Because some of the mountains go really high up, really frigid altitudes, etc. Yeah, not good. And a lot of the creatures in these mountains, unless you're following the correct path, they'll eat you before you could even notice. Like, imagine all of a sudden walking. Well, honestly, we don't have to imagine it. If you ever played Left 4 Dead and you got grabbed by a smoker, yeah, that, not in the sense of a zombie, but in the sense of somebody just grabbed you. Oh my god, there's no one else with me. I'm fucking dead. That's about it. So, carrying on with what this nomadic tribe does is that it's a penance for those who have committed grave sins. And what are these grave sins? Honestly, stealing, killing, about anything that we would consider illegal. They didn't believe that putting people in jail or executing them was the right way to deal with something. They believed that they needed a profound change in their life to ever change. And apparently, wherever this path leads, it leads to such a profound change in your human nature that you would never hurt someone or use someone. You would, at that point, realize that this life isn't about you, it's about how you interact with the world around you. At least that's what they believe. On the flip side, there is a problem where some of the liches in the world have been losing control over some of their followers, skeletons, zombies, etc. They kind of made an arena in the mountains, and basically, if you get there, you can fight for money, a lot of money. You can fight for about anything you want in the world. They don't care. All they want is more money and to fund whatever they're doing out there. Which, who knows? You have these two completely different theologies also. Because the Lich's minions know that, hey, we're already dead. So what are we going to do? Like, they don't age, they don't, well, except for the zombies, they kind of rot a little bit, but essentially they'll become just skeletons in the end. And when they're all skeletons, and if none of them get exercised or anything, they're walking around the world for eternity, or till something major happens. And in the end, these two factions would never have to deal with each other until everyone found out what the nomads were truly going after. The torches, they lead to a sanctuary. It's a old church. It's a church from the old world, as they would say. So imagine a modern day church. And this time of all these fanatical races and everything. But for whatever reason, it stayed pristine. It hasn't dilapidated or anything. It's perfectly there. And as they walk into this place, down the procession essentially, there's a stained glass window of, honestly, it was a Christian church in the past, and it's just a kind of picture of a lion, obviously, God, that sort of stuff, and it just depicts him in his majesty there. But one day, in the distant past, a darkness came over the land. For whatever reason, rain kept falling to the ground for every day. There was flooding going on, there was mudslides going on. People were scared for their lives, including the nomads. The skeletons were like, nah, whatever. We'll just dig ourselves out. We're just bones. Who cares? But the nomads had real concerns about this. It made making the journey to the sanctuary dangerous, extremely dangerous. People were slipping off the edges, dying. People weren't able to reach that enlightenment. Fear came to everyone. Then one day, their leader, an elderly man, decides he'll go out there to the sanctuary. After his arduous journey with arthritis, old age, and everything trying its best to keep him from reaching that point, he made it. And to his amazement, in the stained glass window, a portal of sorts opened in the sky part of it, where the clouds were. As they were parted, it made him wonder, what did this lead to? As he reaches his hand outward to the top of it after climbing a little ladder, a tremendous amount of force keeps his hand from reaching it, but he keeps trying, pushing a little further and further, trying to at least touch whatever this is. The moment his hand reaches this vortex, it widens. It takes up the whole entire mirror. The man falls through it, never to be seen again. But the rain stops. More people come there. They see this vortex. Most are too afraid to touch it. Most don't want to even think about entering it. So what do? They get rid of all the torches. They hide that this place ever existed. Their fear made them put it in the past, although one nomad kept writings of it. These writings were great and profound. They told so much about what this unusual circumstance was, because this one guy, he was a young mist alchemist, which was illegal and, well, not illegal, but against much of the nomadic rules. Because anyone that uses mist alchemy to them, they believe was unnatural and should be exiled from their kingdom. They exiled him. He ended up heading down to northern Dragacia, where he met a lot of ridicule, hatred, etc. One day, he was attacked by guards in the middle of the town that he was living. They say they were just doing their job, making sure scum stayed away. But that didn't explain how they ruthlessly murdered him, bludgeoned him until he couldn't move anymore. He couldn't breathe. He just lay there, choking on his own blood. Very ghastly sight. But they found his journals. After years of the journals moving further and further up their rule, their hierarchy, one day their king finds it. This king has been loved by the people so much, and he decided he could warp all their feelings about this. So he started to say that some unnatural force to the north has been brought to their attention and that they want to annihilate its source. People were ecstatic to follow through with this. They literally roared in appreciation that their king would do such a just thing for another country. They felt that it was the greatest thing ever, just because he was liked, just because he gave people what they wanted. They never questioned why he was doing this. And this sets the stage for the last part of what the fracture is. No one knows truly what the fracture is other than the man that disappeared. The Mist Alchemist, all he theorized was that this was a breach into other dimensions, that it could actually merge dimensions. Not in whole, but in part. Open like a little vacuum between dimensions that he believed that the leader, the nomadic tribe leader, was lost inside of. But with a right amount of mist alchemy, he believed that the portal could stay open both ways, one for a group to head in and one for it to head back out. The king decided to use that theory, but the real problem is he didn't know how hard it would be to find that sanctuary, that sanctuary was hiding in plain sight, but no one would ever see it, for the torches were gone. The nomads hid in the mountains, fearing the military force that was raining down upon them, that had no care if anyone died. It was just the way things were. The undead, on the other hand, decided they wanted to capture some militants and put them into the arena for fun, creating a, not exactly a war, but a very sticky situation where it's like one's running, one's going after the other, and one's going after some ancient treasure, essentially. Amid all this is one person within the nomad tribe who believes that he should find sanctuary before the military does, the Royal Protectorate. And he starts on this journey to the fracture.